guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 7 of the Kickman. I want to get the control panel fixed. Probably fix the artwork on the screen bezel and marquee, which is not much there to do. The main thing is getting this control panel straightened out. And then I want to paint the black on it as much as I can, and then we're going to clear over everything. So if you look here, you know, the edge is kind of scuffed up and stuff, so we're going to fix that up. But if you see, the arrow is partially here on the one side and is completely gone on this side. I can still see the outline in the black, so I'm hoping I could tape that off and we could spray these two areas with yellow spray paint, and then put a little bit more black on the areas that we need to, and then spray some satin clear over top. This is pretty shiny. I don't know if I should go shinier or just keep it. I think I'm going to keep a little bit more satin look. These two arrows don't look too bad at all. A little bit messed up, but not bad. A little bit on the move right here, but we'll clean it up and go from there. I'm going to carry these parts. This turned out really nice, by the way. That'll be a lot nicer than that old ripped up one. And then I'm going to carry in these black parts to the house now, up to the house, so I don't have to have these in my way. But these all dried nice. Let me show you like the coin door here. I took the mask off, but you can see how it still has the original texture and everything on it. So it turned out real nice. But yep, these are all ready to go up front. So I'm going to carry all these up, and then we will start working on that control panel. Okay, I took all those parts up front. I actually just checked. Oh, there's a dent right here. I'll have to fix that little dent right there. I just checked that wiring harness that I soaked yesterday in the simple green. It looks clean. So let's go in there real quick. We'll rinse it off. Then I'm going to take, there's a little wiring harness for the coin door and one of the coin mechs that's kind of dirty. I'm going to throw that in the simple green with water mixture. Might as well. Why throw it away if I don't have to? But yeah, this looks fairly clean. Let's turn the light on here. So I'm going to rinse it, and then we'll hang it up to dry. I stuck this plate on top of it to keep it in the solution overnight so it didn't come out of the water. But you could tell it's clean. It's definitely looks like new wire. So I'm just going to rinse it off, and we're just going to hang it on a hook. I got a hook right outside the door here. That made a huge difference, I'll tell you that. I mean, yesterday when I showed you all these wires, you couldn't even tell what colors they were. I mean, that's pretty impressive just for not having to use any sort of a scrub brush or anything, just soaking it in water with simple green. So I'm just going to take it out here. Move my squeegee out of the way here. I just got this hook right here that I usually will hang my coat from or something. And we'll just hang this up to dry. I want to make sure that these ends right here, these ground ends, I want them to be kind of hanging downwards so that the water could drip out of them. But it shouldn't take very long to dry. I'm just going to let it hang here for a day or two. So that's where that's going to go, and I'm going to take those other parts and throw them in that cleaner, let that soak overnight. So let me go grab those parts. I'm going to throw them in there, let this drip dry for the next day. And then we're gonna get started on that control panel. Okay, I'm gonna take the buttons out first, and then I want to tape off the arrows and spray those, believe it or not, before I do anything else. Or maybe I'll tape off the arrows, Scotch-Brite it, and then spray the arrows. These buttons are in really good shape. Don't think I'm gonna do anything to these. So I'm gonna use some 3/4 inch masking tape. I'm gonna try to follow the factory spot. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to spray these yellow first and then just carefully Scotch Brite it afterwards. I gotta see if I have any yellow spray paint, actually. I might not. If not, I'll have to go up to Lowe's and get myself some yellow Krylon, my favorite paint. So I'm going to sit here and tape this, and I just took off the wrong piece of tape. And then we'll look at it after I get both sides taped off. Okay, those are taped off, as you can see. I'm gonna have to go get a can of spray paint. I don't have any. The orange is in really good shape. There's just a couple little scratches here and there. And I had bought an orange paint marker. I wanna see if it matches decent enough. I don't really wanna tape all those off to paint them. And in here, I'm gonna take my Scotch Brite pad and lightly scuff that up. And then I'll have to run up to Lowe's. Actually, that might match decent. It's a little oranger. I wonder if I can wipe it with a paper towel, maybe. Don't know if that's going to do anything. Definitely oranger. It might not dry as orange as it is. It's definitely a different shade of orange. Just gonna let that set for a little bit. I wonder if I should just go over all the arrow with new orange paint, just because it's kind of worn out. a little bit. Actually doesn't look bad at all. Cool. That actually looks pretty damn good. I do have another one of these control panels. It has 2 extra holes drilled in it. I might fix it and maybe I'll sell it if somebody needs a Kickman control panel, because what am I going to do with it? You know what I mean? Let's see how that dries, and it depends if I'm going to go over the press too. Just curious as to how this kind of looks like the orange is going to dry kind of the color that it was originally. So, all right, I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit. I'm gonna go to Lowe's, pick up some yellow spray paint for those 2. We might touch up these letters as well with the yellow spray paint. Probably will. You know what? I'm gonna mask those off too real quick. You know what? I'll do it when I get back. I'm gonna let that stuff dry. Okay, I'm back from Lowe's. I ended up getting this Krylon. It's Farm and Implement High Gloss Tractor Yellow. I went with this color because the only other color yellow they had was a little bit more of like a school bus yellow, and it didn't really want to match this. So this is actually a really good match to what was on there. So I'm going to tape off the move, because I'm just going to go ahead and hit that lightly with yellow as well, just to make sure that all 3 yellows match. We don't have to do a thing to this up here. That's all good. These arrows actually turned out pretty good. Probably just hit it a little bit more. And I think I might hit the press to start. Might go over those real quick. But these actually went pretty good. So let's work on taping off that move, and then we'll take some paper, put it around this edge here, and we'll spray the yellow. And then we will move on to the scuffing it and spraying the black. There's a little bit of a dent right here too. It's kind of going upwards. Maybe we can hammer that down lightly. And we got a little dent over here, which we might be able to just hammer that out. So let me get this move lettering taped off. Hopefully I can tape it off. Because if you look closely here, you can see how it's kind of, it's wearing through. So why not just fix it if we're going through the trouble already. Okay, it is all taped off. We're going to take a little red Scotch Brite pad. We're going to lightly scuff over this. All right, I'm going to spray a little yellow. Hopefully this stuff covers halfway decent. Okay, we'll let that dry for about 10 minutes, and we'll put another coat on. All right, I'm gonna spray on the second coat here. I'm keeping the can real far away, just trying to put it on kind of lighter. We'll do one more coat in about 10 minutes, and then we'll untape it and see what it looks like. All right, third coat here. All right, I'd like to peel it off while it's wet still. Let me just try to start taking off the outer paper and see how it feels. The only reason why I'm wanting to take this off while it's wet is to minimize the tape line and to hopefully keep it from wanting to peel off once it dries, because what happens is the paint gets on the edge of the tape thick and then it wants to peel off when you untape it. A little bit of bleed through, but we can get that fixed up. gonna have to wash my hands here in a second. I got a lot of yellow paint on them. I'm gonna go grit some lacquer thinner on a rag. Had to put the paint on thick because of stupid yellow paint. We'll clean up the edges afterwards. Okay, we're gonna let that set. Looking a hell of a lot better than what we had. Now these edges right here that are kind of screwed up, I'll scrape them with the razor blade a little bit. Whatever doesn't come off, we'll probably take the black marker and we'll just color in the whole inside of the arrow with the marker, and it should look real good. It's gonna be a little difficult touching up the black paint on this. I think I'm gonna go over the orange one more time. Just kind of let everything dry for a little bit. Okay, I have the screen bezels flipped upside down here. There's really not much to touch up on this at all. It's missing some paint in this top edge and stuff. We're just gonna put some of this marker on it. The wood covers behind this, so you don't really ever even see it. That I don't think you do. But we'll just put some of this black marker over it on the back side. I'm not gonna worry about putting triple thick or anything on it because it's not gonna get any worse. I don't feel like taping off the whole screen. I don't think it needs it. I think this stuff's actually in pretty good shape. Yeah, that touched it up real good. You can see down this side right here. Don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Yeah, see those little pinholes right there? Let's put some of this on here. Once again, there's a piece of wood that covers these edges here, so seeing it is pretty highly unlikely once it's in the cabinet itself. I mean, look at that difference. You can barely see them now. Not bad. Maybe one more light coat and that'll take care of that. So I'll let this dry for a little bit. Same thing with the, the marquee's not bad at all either, really. A couple little scratches in it. I mean, it's not much to worry about here. You can see, like, right in the black right there. Let's touch up that one and see what it looks like. Oh, I did the wrong spot. Okay, let's try touching up this spot. Gone. Completely gone. You cannot even see it at all. Most of this gets covered with the metal anyways, but I'm going to go over, I think I'm going to go over all the black on the border. And then I'm not going to do much on the inside. I'll just do a little bit on the black. I don't think the colored areas need it. So I don't think I'm going to get too involved with this either. And it's in really good shape. Nothing's peeling or anything. So that's why I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to put anything else on it like triple thick or anything because it just doesn't need it. It's not flaking off. If you want, you could put it on here. It's not going to hurt it at all. But I think we're okay with where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and touch up the black on the little spots on the inside and then the perimeter. All right, I'm letting that dry over there. I think my best bet with this is maybe just to use the marker on the insides of here. All right, let me see if I can lightly tap down these dents. I don't want to do a bunch of body work or anything like that to this. I don't want to get into all that. Just trying to flatten it out here. That definitely helped. That looks a million times better there. So let's move on to this. My paint's still a little wet, so I'm trying to be a little careful. This one. Much better. I'm happy with that. This is what it's looking like, guys. As it's drying, we got our arrows back. I screwed up on that arrow a little bit. It's a little bit off. This side should have been a little bit longer, but I'm not going to repaint it. It's fine. There was no arrow there at all to go off of. So now, there's not a ton I could do. I mean, with scuffing this up and stuff, I can only do so much because I don't want to screw up the artwork. I can get this front edge a little bit with the Scotch-Brite, but I'm going to kind of have to just, it is what it is type of deal. I mean, if I can just get some sort of a scuffing on here so that the paint has something to adhere to, is all I can really do. Another little dent right there. That's not bad enough to fuck with. This said something right here, reserved right or something like that at one point, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to do anything with that. So now the tough part, I got to try to spray some black on this panel where it's really scuffed up and not get it on the artwork. I might just take like a piece of cardboard and try to like cover around the artwork where I'm going to be spraying. Now some of the scuffing is not going to get black over it, but the clear coat will cover that up, the scuff marks that the Scotch-Brite pad leaves. I mean, there's only so much you could do, you know what I mean? Rather than, you know, or I could have made all this artwork out of vinyl, stuck it on here after I painted it black and then cleared it in there. That would probably work as well, but let's just try to keep it as original as possible. I mean, if the clear peels off or something in the future, you can always do that. But I think we're going to be all right. Actually, I got quite a bit of it scuffed up. What's funny is there's dirt in the black paint from the factory. I'm surprised it didn't wear off just from people's hands over time. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just blow this off with the blowgun, and we're just gonna touch it up with some black and then put a little clear over it. Let's take a look at these over here. They're probably pretty close to being dry. So I think that looks real good. Put this off to the side. The glass only had those couple little spots. So I'm going to go ahead and blow off that control panel, and then we're going to get it up here and start doing some black. Okay, now I'm going to lightly put this on. I don't want to put it on heavy. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm not really going to be spraying a lot of this. I have a piece of the poster board from yesterday. Kind of want to just hold it up there. We're just going to mist it. So all we're trying to do is kind of just blend in the imperfections. Probably 2 light coats like this, and then that's going to be it. My arm's probably in the way. The key is to try not to leave any hard paint lines with your black paint. You want to try to kind of hold your cardboard like this so that it's not completely touching, and spray away from the cardboard. Still got a little bit of a hard line even by doing that. Sometimes you gotta just leave well enough alone too. Don't go too far with it. The black might not match perfectly to what black's on there, but you just get it close as you can. When this is in the arcade with the lights off, and it's gonna look real good. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna put a little clear on it. While this is drying for a little bit, I'm gonna go through here, dig through here, and find my painted bolts. These ones for the that hold the coin box in. I'm gonna wire wheel these down so that we can spray paint these. So I'm gonna dig through this container and get all the carriage bolts and stuff out that I need to use to fix or to paint, and I'll just get them painted now while I have the chance. So I'm gonna get all these wire wheeled down real good. I'm actually going to put them in here. Put the ones that need wire wheeled down on the one side, and then as I wire wheel them, I'll throw the clean ones on the other side. Pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and dig through here and find what I need. Okay, poke some holes in the box here so we can paint these carriage bolts. I wire wheeled this too. This is the ground strap that all the ground wires go to. You don't need to buy a new one. Just wire wheel it, sand it. It looks brand new. It'll make good ground because it's new, or it's clean. Doesn't have oxidation or anything on it. I don't have a screwdriver over here right now. Usually a screwdriver works better to do this. But I had my knife in my pocket, so that's what we use. Of course, I put the black paint away. Get that back out. These bolts are actually in good shape. The backs weren't real rusty or anything. Now when you paint these, make sure you spin the box around because you gotta get all the edges. All right, let's let that dry for a little bit. Probably put one more light coat. Let's go ahead and get some clear on this. We're using the Krylon Satin Clear. Right here, the Fusion Satin Clear. Looks like the black is blending in extremely well. We're probably going to put 3 good coats on here to give it a good protective coating. Okay, that's coat number 1. It's going to dry duller than it is. What a hell of a difference from what it was. Wish I'd have made that arrow a little bit straighter, but I'm not going to stress out over it. All right, I'm going to use the wire wheel one more time and knock the little bit of rust off that's on here. There's really not much on here. It's actually really clean. Okay, the reason why I clean this right now is when they're real clean like this one is, just take a little bit of clear and throw a little bit of clear on it, and it'll keep it from wanting to rust more in the future. It's okay if it gets on the other spots, not gonna hurt it. Just one good coat of clear, that's all we need. So now I gotta wait so I can get another coat of clear on the control panel. And I'm gonna put one more coat of paint on the bolts. I'll come back and show you another coat of clear on here. I'm not gonna show you another coat on the bolts. After that, we're pretty much done for tonight. I mean, we're damn close to having everything ready. I need to wipe the cardboard down for the monitor, around the monitor. Probably just gonna use a little bit of Windex on a rag. I'll probably spray it onto the rag itself and then lightly wipe over the artwork. I think it's gonna come out pretty clean. But other than that, we pretty much are gonna have everything ready for Kickman after tonight. I got a bucket of bolts over there that are just silver, and let me just show you that real quick. I'm just going to take them on the wire wheel and just clean them up a little bit. Usually I'll use the tumbler, which makes them look brand new as well. But these are, everything's in really good shape, all the hardware and everything on this cabinet. So let's take, for instance, like these. You know, they're clean. They're just a little bit discolored, I guess you'd say. I'm gonna find another one so I can kind of hold it up next to it. And basically, I mean, this is what it looked like before. Can't really tell. It's a little bit dirty, and this is afterwards. You can barely tell the difference. Actually, I gotta get that edge a little bit better. But I'm just gonna run them over with the wire wheel real quick just to clean them up. I'm gonna work on these parts while I'm waiting for that clear to dry. Okay, let's get coat number 2 of clear on here. We're gonna do 3 coats, like I said. Try to spray in even lines. Don't go rattle king, you know, in circles and shit. So all that does is build up higher areas and it just looks like shit. Run nice even strokes. Try to make sure your strokes fully cover on each pass so you don't have any dull spots. All right, let that dry. All right, I'm gonna put the last coat on. You won't be able to see it finished until tomorrow once it dries all the way. All right, we'll let that dry overnight. Let's take a look at these bolts. These are pretty much dry. They look real good. And this is why I like Krylon. Look at how nice that finish is. It's absolutely perfect. Let's take one more look at the harness here. That's pretty much dry too. I have the heat up to like 72 in here, so it's pretty warm. But yeah, this turned out awesome. Look how clean that is. Even the fuse holder's clean. I'm going to replace the fuses. But I don't think I'm going to change the fuse holder. It looks extremely good. There is no oxidation or nothing on it. So we're going to leave that alone. This harness is good. Really good. I got to get this ground wire off. That's an extra one they put on for the switching power supply that was in there. Even look at this interlock switch. These are usually all yellow. There's a little bit of black paint on it from me. I'll get that off. But these are usually pretty yellow, and that's turned nice and white. Even the connectors are pretty damn white for soaking overnight. But yeah, it's for the most part dry. It's been hanging for a few hours now. So I'm happy with that. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to end, what was this, part 7, I think? 6, 7? I don't remember. I'll put it in the description at the top. So let me know what you guys think. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. I always respond. Other than that, I really appreciate it, guys. If anybody has not subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff. I would really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up. That also helps get the video out to more people. If you could share the video, that would be awesome. Like I said, any questions or comments, feel free to ask. I'm more than willing to help. If anybody has a question with, like, you know, how can I do this? How can I do that? Or I'm having a problem with this. Do you have any suggestions? I'll try my best to help you guys as much as I possibly can. I don't know everything by far, believe me. I stumble through a lot of things. Sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't. But that's pretty much it, guys. We're pretty much ready to assemble Kickman other than making the harness. But we'll probably put the game together in a week or two and then work on making the harness. We need to get that monitor down that I have up top on that shelf that is clean. Doesn't have any screen burn or anything. I figure out why. I don't even know if it works or not. Probably doesn't work. Probably gonna have to go through it, rebuild it, figure out why it's not working, and stuff like that. So next, I'm gonna be working on the Stargate parts. I wanna get those rest of the Stargate parts finished and in the basement along with the Kickman. And then I want to do one final test on the Spy Hunter, putting the PCB back in it and the power supply, and make sure that that's working good. And then I want to get that cabinet stripped down, get that thing painted so that that can go in the basement. So we have 3 full games down there that need to be put together this winter so far. I need to get that golf game, the PGA Tour. I have the all access for that, so I have all the courses for that. I need to put that in the one cabinet, move the bowling and bags into the other cabinet. So I've got a lot to get done. I gotta try to at least get the PGA Tour together and get that moved over. And I'd like to get all 3 of these games together before New Year's for my party that I have. But if I don't, not a big deal, but it'd be nice to get them together. So we'll see what happens. We still got 2 months and a week to go. So I think we'll be fine. As you can see, I like to stay busy. I don't just spray something and then go in the house and watch TV. I move on to something else. I work on something else while I'm waiting. I got all those other bolts and nuts and stuff wire wheeled while I was waiting for this stuff to set up. So, all right, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not sure yet. Other than that, oh, real quick, one last thing. The transistor came for the red color for Zaxxon, so I probably will be doing a video on that tomorrow. I'd like to see if I get that red working again now that we switched the blue and red around. The blue is working and the red is not working. When I did the video, only green was working, and that ended up being the blue wire was loose in the connector, so I wiggled it around and got it to work. I might have to take that connector and just bend the prongs a little bit so that when I slide it back on, it connects tighter to the pins on the board. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.